What is it about Black mothers and daughters as to why they cannot get along and the relationship becomes so toxic? It's not normal. It's not natural. And it's kind of swept under the carpet like it doesn't exist. In the Black community, it's like, that's your mother. You only get one. You better love them while they're here and all of that. But what if you know all of this and it's still toxic? What do you do?
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Just a Girl Show. My name is Janine. If you are new here, if you're new, of course, hit that subscribe button, and of course, make sure your notifications are on so you never miss an episode. And if you are a subscriber, welcome back to the channel. So for those who do not know, I have been a high school guidance counselor for almost 10 years now. And I've experienced and seen a lot with being like the middleman for young girls and boys when it comes to their relationship with their parents, right? And it has not always been easy being that middleman because it's like, you're the one who keeps all their secrets, things that their parents don't know. And it has been a very emotional journey by being that person for a lot of them, which I'm very grateful. I'm very blessed to be someone that they have always confided in. They've trusted me with their feelings, their opinions, their secrets. So it really it's a beautiful thing, and I believe it is truly my purpose on earth to give back to the youth. That is what I love. That is what I feel like I was put on this earth for me, God, to use me to give back and help young children, right? But in regards to just the challenges of their home environments, just what they've experienced, school is a safe place for them. And school is a place where I didn't realize this until, I'll say like, shortly after I got into my first school. I realized that a lot of them just want to talk. They don't have nothing. They don't really want anything. They just want you to listen to them. They want to be heard. They want to be talked to like a human being, like they have feelings. So realizing that, it made me ease up a little bit when I'm like pushing them out the office and going in the class. I would really check them with them like, hey, how was your weekend? What's going on? Give me the tea. What's going on? Right? Because that was their time to like release everything they have going on. And for some time it would be a little quick kiki. Other times it would be very, very heavy stuff. And I've heard a lot and I've seen a lot. I'll just say that. But I want to share this clip that references the relationship that a lot of Black mothers have with their daughters, because it's something that I've just witnessed growing up as a kid myself with some of my friends, but also being, again, the middleman of this in my role as an educator. And just the feelings that young girls have about their mothers is a very, very weird, very, very real. I'm sorry. And the feelings that young girls have about their mothers is a very, very real thing. And it's not always easy to hear. But let me drop the clip and we're going to come back and we're going to talk about it.
Mama has called me so many names my whole life, and I let it slide. But as an adult, I've been telling her I don't like how she talks to me, and she don't change it. So now I'm returning the energy, and now she's going to cry. Like, if you're one of those Black mothers that feel like only you can disrespect your kids but nobody else can, and your kids have no right to speak or have any type of say-so, bitch, you got a special place in hell for you. Like, you don't have a child to treat them any type of way you want to because it's your child. Bitch, like.
So I can't tell y'all the number of times I've heard this same, if not verbatim, very close to those words. I've expressed it to my mom. I don't like it. She don't want to change. And whatever happens to her happens to her. Like, I've heard it so many times. Too many times. And as a mother, I have 2 children of my own that I've birthed, and I also have a stepdaughter. But raising my children who are young, right, the young ones, and having a daughter, I was saying this to my husband that working with teenagers and hearing the stories and the disdain and feelings of hate toward their parents, i.e. their mothers for a lot of the young girls, really touched me in a way that made me feel like, oh no, there's no way my baby can feel this way about me. I would be crushed if my daughter sat in this same chair and told her counselor that she couldn't stand me, that the way that I speak to her bothers her, the way that the names that I call her, I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine. So for me, I not only heard them, but I was also learning from them, learning how to be a better mother, be a better listener, because I felt sometimes my mom didn't always listen to me. She would just jump to conclusions. She would make up her own thoughts, and it would be like, girl, you're not even listening to what I got to say. You know, I wouldn't say I experienced like, you know, the name calling per se, but a lot of times Black mothers don't really understand how their words carry, and their words can be very, very hurtful, very hurtful. And the idea and thought of, because it's your child, you can say whatever you want, do whatever you want, is unfair to that child. And you have no idea what you are creating. You are creating a dynamic that you don't want, that you don't have to have with that child, but you're creating it because you just want to be the boss, the dictator. You know, I'm the mom. I'm like, and it's like, that don't make you a better parent by making your children be fearful of you and making sure they know not to play with you and you can say whatever you want to them. It's a very, very, very disheartening situation. You know, to be called out your name. I had a girl tell me one time, y'all, she came to school and she told me how she beat her mom up. Like, they were fighting. She's like, and I beat her up. And I'm like, you beat your mom up? She's like, yes, I beat her up, miss. Like, we were fighting in the street. Like, we were two strangers fighting each other, beat her up. And she said verbatim, she know not to play with me anymore. Like, she know not to play with me anymore because she know that I can beat her up. And I was just like, wow. But she's like, I'm tired of the abuse. I'm tired of how she treats me. I just got tired of it. She was like 17 with her mom, who young. She probably like 32. So for her, it's like, enough is enough. And that's too many of them who have that same story. If not, you know, the same, very similar. If you are a mother watching this, you need to be very, very mindful that your children are not your possession. They're not your possession. They're not something that you just want to use and sell off and mishandle and trade off for this, or like, it's not your possession to use your children in that way. They're humans. They have feelings. And we all know that kids can be kids and they can be, you know, they can pop their mouths too much and get a little disrespectful. We know that. I understand that. I'm not saying that these kids are perfect. No way, shape, or form. But what I am saying is a lot of times we as the mothers, because we are the ones who are a lot of times the primary caregiver. Even if you have a father in a home, the mom is really doing a lot of that. You know, she has a very large impression on the children. So a lot of this stuff, y'all, is we are setting the tone for our children. You know, I've seen young girls who are a carbon copy of their mothers. Same nasty attitude. Same nasty. And you're telling me that you can't stand her attitude. I'm looking at you like, miss, where'd she get it from? Where did she learn that from? Like, it's just generational. You treat her like she's nothing. You treat her like you could say whatever you want. And our parents, Black mothers, y'all, do not apologize. They don't apologize. And it's always like a meme and like a funny joke where how Black moms apologize. They'll ask you, do you want something to eat? They'll try to, like, you know, smooch up to you, but they're not really apologizing or taking accountability. And a lot of us, that's the norm. That was the norm. My mom did it when I was a kid. That was the norm. You didn't get a sorry. You didn't get I apologize. I was wrong. I should never yelled at you. I should have listened to you. We don't get that a lot of times in our community as amongst Black mothers. We don't, because there's too much of the I'm the mom, you a child, who you think you are. Like, it's almost like the mothers make themselves like they're not human. You can't make mistakes. You can't be wrong. When your kids really want to hear you express that you're a human. You ain't perfect. Mommy make mistakes. I tell my kids, I make mistakes. Mommy gets sad. Mommy don't always get it right. But I always want them to know that they can be heard. They're not my possession to just, you know, use and abuse however I want to do however I want to do with them. And that's because that's not the goal. I'm the mother. I'm going to be the teacher, the leader, the guidance, the mentor, you know, your biggest cheerleader. And again, I'm not saying we're going to always agree as they get older, but I want them to understand and, know that I'm coming from a genuine place, and they never feel like they have to run to someone else and express things that they can't tell me. Like that's always hard. Like your mom has no idea how you feel. You don't want to tell her. You don't want to talk to her. And that's a lot to carry around, which is why we unfortunately see a lot of these young girls and boys out here getting into any and everything. They got all this rage and, frustration and pain that stems from what they lacked at home, and now they're out in the streets and they are just doing whatever they got to do to survive or fit in, to be seen, to get attention, to be, it's tough. And a lot of this stuff is, again, generational, refusing to do the work to get to, to change, not wanting to heal, not wanting to go to therapy, not even realizing that what you're doing is wrong is the biggest problem in our community. You don't even know that you're wrong. You think what you're doing is really the best mom in the world. You think you're the best mom, and baby, let me tell you, your child feels totally different about you. Totally different. So I think Black mothers, we are the matriarchy of the family, right? And we don't need to abuse our powers to make that known. We don't need to demean our children to make them respect us. We don't need to put fear in them. And, we don't need to talk down on them like they're not humans with feelings. That's one of the things that I think a lot of parents forget, that these children, they're children, they have feelings. Their feelings matter. Because that whole, I don't care what you think, however you feel don't matter. Go ahead and cry on your own. It don't matter. It does matter. It does. And you don't want to make them feel like what they feel doesn't matter. Tell me why you feel that way. I may not agree with the reason why you're feeling that way. You know what I'm saying? But I still want to hear why you feel that way. Because I care. And I want you to know that I always want you to know that I do care and I love you. And I'm the one that's supposed to build you up, not tear you down. Especially when you coming to me and saying, Mom, I don't like that. And I say to you, oh, well, what you want me to do? That ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm your mother. And, our mothers love to tell you how they birthed you and I take you out the world, I brought you in, all that other nonsense. You know what I'm saying? Like, ma'am, miss me with that. Okay? I'm grown. Okay? But no, this is a serious issue, y'all, that is affecting the youth, that creates, young men and women that grow up to be grown men and women, and they are out here trying to figure out how to do life while dealing with all these internal feelings from their parents, and just the whole family dynamic can be tough and challenging. So I think as Black mothers, especially since we're referencing us, we need to know that you may not realize what you're doing, but you could be doing exactly what your mom did to you and you don't even realize it. And you hated how you were treated. So why are you doing the same thing again? You doing it again because it's just like second nature. You haven't done the work to actually not do it. You said in your mind, I don't want to be like nothing like my mom. Cool. But you didn't do anything action based to really make that happen, because you haven't even healed or acknowledged fully what actually happened, what happened to me, what was the outcome for me, and how do I go about doing this differently. So I encourage you, if you need therapy, therapy is so beneficial. There's nothing wrong with therapy. You're not crazy. It is like you're giving yourself a chance to heal and just do better, especially for your children. Again, I don't like those again, it's just it's very hard to hear and to just know that children are telling me how much they hate their parents, and now I have to sit on the phone with their mom and act like everything's okay. Because confidentiality wise, I can't tell their parent. I can encourage them by what I might know and try to give some advice or whatever, but a lot of this is they're just coming to confide in me because they need someone to talk to and hear them out and be kind and pour into them in a loving way, So alongside with sharing this conversation, again, guys, I am raising money for my nonprofit. I'm Just a Girl Inc. We are looking forward to hosting a free workshop for young girls this upcoming April. The description to donate to the nonprofit is the link to donate to the nonprofit will be in the description. So any support would be so appreciated. It really means a lot to me to get back to the youth in a way to help our young girls grow up to be amazing, women. So let me know what you think about the conversation. If you have any thoughts, personal, experience or not, just let me know below. Of course, if you like the conversation, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye.